From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, January 6th, 2019. Silver is trading at $15.68 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,285 per ounce. Smart cash is trading at 1.45 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,865. Antiwar.com reports while Saudi Arabia has managed to militarily occupy substantial parts of Yemen, efforts to try to enhance their reputation within the war-torn country are not only failing, but actually fueling even more anger among locals who are resisting many of their development projects. Promising everything under the sun from new boats for fishermen to new schools, hospitals, and infrastructure, Saudi Arabia is also sending hundreds of more troops in to oversee their many projects. Locals fear the projects are temporary and the Saudi troops are permanent. In the Al-Namara province, many locals are openly questioning the Saudi agenda, accusing them of trying to buy loyalty with the projects while entrenching their military occupation for years to come. Saudi commanders are openly saying they fear that if they don't meet the needs of the Yemenis, someone else will and supplant them. That's a realistic concern, but the Saudis are stopping far short of any assurances that their deployment isn't permanent. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports Washington Governor Jay Inslee will offer pardons to several thousand people who have been convicted of misdemeanor cannabis possession before recreational pot was legal in the state. Inslee announced the plan, called the Marijuana Justice Initiative, on Friday at the Washington State Cannabis Summit in Seattle, an annual conference sponsored by the legal cannabis industry. Inslee said at the event, "We should not be punishing people for something that is no longer illegal in Washington State. Forgiving these convictions can help lessen their impact and allow people to move on with their lives. It's a small step, but one that moves us in the direction of correcting these injustices." The governor's office estimated 3,500 people will be eligible for pardons. Washington State Patrol will remove convictions from the criminal history reports available to the public, though the records will remain available to law enforcement, according to a summary of the pardon plan provided by the governor's office. Offenders will need to petition to have information removed from court files. The city of Seattle is already expunging old cannabis records. Inslee said a pardon of cannabis possession convictions can reduce barriers to housing, employment, student loans, credit scores, and even the ability to participate in a child or grandchild school field trip. Inslee's constitutional clemency authority applies to those with a single conviction on an otherwise clean criminal record. The conviction must have been prosecuted under state law in Washington and have occurred between January 1st, 1998 and December 5th, 2012, when voters approved the cannabis legalization measure called I-502. Inslee opposed the measure when he ran for governor as a Democrat in 2012, but has since changed his stance. Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash also features smart rewards, a price stabilization mechanism, and a way to encourage long-term holding. Long-term holders are key to the project's success. You can earn smart rewards on any address for which you hold the private keys, which holds at least 1,000 smart for 1 month and does not make any outgoing transactions during that time. Smart rewards are distributed every 47,500 blocks to all eligible addresses. Learn more at smartcash.cc. Reuters reports U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Democrats would pass new legislation to try to reopen parts of the government next week after talks between the Trump administration and Democratic negotiators on Saturday failed to end a 2-week partial government shutdown. President Donald Trump is demanding $5.6 billion to build a wall along the border with Mexico, but Democrats in control of the House this week passed a bill to reopen the government without providing additional funding for the wall. Trump said he will not sign the spending bill unless he gets money for the wall. After a meeting aimed at breaking the deadlock failed on Saturday, Pelosi said House Democrats would seek to reopen government agencies next week through piecemeal appropriations bills, starting with the Treasury Department and the IRS. Vice President Mike Pence led the administration's team in the meeting with Democratic negotiators on Saturday. He said it was productive, but an aide said there was no in-depth discussion of a possible compromise level of funding for border security. The two sides agreed to meet again on Sunday. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.